This is Drink Talk, where we try to solve the world's problems one drink at a time. Each episode in this podcast, we talk about the topics of yesterday, today, and tomorrow while reviewing and enjoying beer, spirits, and wine from around the world and crafted locally. So grab your drink, raise your glass, and join us. We are your hosts, Brian and Britt. Cheers.
Check us out. All right. After a long and needed start to the show, people on this, just attending our podcast right now, have no idea what I've gone through to get this started.
All the technical difficulties that we've been having. So.
It is what it is. But hey, we've got two people here on screen with us. We've got David and Becca from the Casual Pint that have joined us. Please say hello.
Cheers. Hey, everybody.
Cheers, everybody. Thanks for having us.
Oh,
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us. This is awesome. And our first live in what are we going to call this? Webinar? Virtual happy hour with you guys? We can
Virtual webinar happy hour?
There we go. How to have a happy hour. How about that? Yeah, thank you for joining us. They're from Casual Pint, as you can see by their shirts there. So
Nice.
Thanks for sporting the gear. Perfect. There you go. Perfect. Well, with this being Drink Talk, why don't you explain what you guys are drinking, then we'll explain what we're drinking.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah.
All right.
So we're drinking some freshly canned cross-strain DDH Fairy Nectar.
Nice.
Award-winning.
Award-winning. We had one of our buddies who dropped some off for us at the front porch literally a couple hours ago.
Mm-hmm.
So
Nice.
I know that
Home delivery. That's awesome.
home delivery. It doesn't get much better than that. So yeah,
No.
that's what we're drinking.
Yeah, it's what we're drinking.
There you go.
All right. Well, Britt and I are actually, we went to Inkwell, which is in the same little shopping mall in Countryside Village there. And they made us up some Vucare.
Vucare.
Vucare. So
Cheers,
cheers
Brian.
to that.
Cheers to you guys as well.
And, yeah, cheers to you.
Cheers.
I wish it was in person, but this will have to do for now, fellas. I love that we're able to at least raise a glass together.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
It's become a new reality how we've had to do virtual happy hours,
In
which
the
is
name of Corona.
I know, but
Right.
that's kind of one of the things that I wanted to talk about is you guys actually host virtual happy hours for Casual Pints. Why don't you talk a little bit about that and how you came up with the idea and what time frame that you guys do it, all that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure. We go ahead.
Want me to go? Yeah, so we just wanted a way to connect with our customers and staff too, and just being a bartender is such a social business. You're used to talking to your customers and find out what's going on in their lives, and we don't really get to do that anymore. They'd come in and chat and tell us what was going on, and we'd let them know what was going on, what new beers are coming, and what events we would have, and we can post it on Facebook, but it's not the same as talking to somebody in person. And so Dave and I were just talking, and we thought, well, you know what, let's try a virtual happy hour and see if our staff and customers want to join us and have a beer and hang out and at least kind of get to virtually see each other. And so it's been good. It's been fun. We do it at 5:00 Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Yep. My favorite
And now
is
7:00 today.
7 o'clock tonight. My favorite though is Friday at 5. Friday at 5 they crack open a mystery growler.
I was
you
going to
can
ask
purchase.
that if you did that with them, and do you take in like guesses and all that from people?
Yeah, so we let one of our beer tenders just randomly pour something. He makes up about 10 to 14 mystery crowlers. And we all crack them together Friday at 5:00. Everybody guesses, because we don't know either.
No.
So we talk about the beer, we evaluate it, and we kind of nerd out a little bit, and then we unveil what we're drinking.
Nice. How's the response been for that virtual happy hour?
It's been great. I mean, when we started, I think it's like, if a couple people hop on, that'll be great. But we get a good response from people, and people are enjoying it, and saying that they appreciate it, and happy to know what's going on at the Pint, and connecting with other customers they know just through the comments. So it's been really good.
Yeah, for those that we're part of that people that don't leave our house anymore because we're not working. We've let our beer tenders run the show over there. We're staying home. So If you're like us, then there's not much interaction with adults and there's in the outside world. So it's really just a way to talk about things, say hi, relax, act normal as you can, drinking a beer.
Right. In this
On
new
video.
normal, like you said.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
exactly.
day I walked into the Pint and you guys had removed all the chairs from the bar, I was like, oh no, it has come.
Yeah.
That day.
The day has come.
The
yeah.
day has come. But I see that you're reupholstering some of the chairs, so that's nice.
Yeah, some were not in great shape, so.
There you
Perfect
go.
time to do it.
Mhm.
Exactly. Get stuff done.
So,
Yeah, sure.
with the happy hour, how has business been going? I mean, we talked about the mystery growlers and all that. So I guess you should talk about what you guys can still offer to the public for those that don't know, kind of what's going on with local bars and all that.
Sure.
Yeah, so Nebraska, isn't allowing restaurants or bars to have people come in. Obviously, we're having to follow the 10-person rule. So we are allowed to do carry out. We're allowed to do delivery. We're allowed to do, let a few people come in at a time. As long as we're staying under that 10 number, they can shop. They can mix 6-packs. They can, fill up crowlers and growlers to go. And we've just tried to be as accommodating as we can because, options are different for everybody. Some people don't want to come in. So they call us, we build their order, we take it out to them when they show up.
Yep.
But yeah, it's pretty basic right now. You're just taking beer to drink at home. There's no drinking on premise anywhere going on.
No.
Now, you said you do delivery. Are you doing just like curbside delivery, or are you doing like delivery to people's homes?
We've done delivery to homes, although we haven't seen that that's been something our customers want.
Right.
Gotcha.
It's been a handful of actual deliveries where we take it to someone's house. I think most people, they want to get out and have a reason to come in and say hi, do something, and then go home.
Interaction with people.
Yeah, adult.
Yeah.
With the amount of deaths that we've had just in Nebraska, which has only been 20, I'll risk it. I'll risk it. We've probably had more deaths in an actual flu season than we have with the coronavirus, so I'll chance it.
Right. Yeah. Has there been any other changes that you guys have gone through besides the lack of customers being able to stay? Is there any other rules or regulations that you have to follow with that?
They've loosened up a lot of regulations for bars and restaurants, which has been cool.
Clamp down over here to loosen up over here.
Right.
Just like you're taking drinks that are pre-mixed and kind of to-go style.
Right.
Where that's very new to us. And
Yeah, I guess we should talk about that. That Nebraska, the governor actually loosened that up a couple weeks ago, where bars are able to sell mixed drinks to go.
Yeah,
which is cool.
Which is great.
And we got these from Inkwell, which is
Don't drink them in your car.
Yeah, they do seal them up. Yeah. So Inkwell's in Countryside Village, as well as Casual Pint in Countryside Village, 87th and Pacific. So small town in the city.
Right?
Yeah.
Speaking of small town in the city and the Countryside Village, I went to the Simple Man today. I was driving down the street and I had to find something on my phone, and you don't want to drive and do stuff on your phone. So I pulled off into the parking lot because it was right there. And sitting right outside was our buddy Boyd from the Simple Man. And so we got to talking and all that stuff. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to come in. I'm going to get some stuff. So I picked up this handy-dandy candle right here in the middle of the table. So I might as well get that all nice and lit up. And I also picked up some hand sanitizer from him, which I didn't realize he was selling hand sanitizer up until the last minute. But he's like... for every purchase of this, it all gets donated back to 98% of it gets donated back to good cause like nurses and stuff like that. So I was like, yeah, absolutely. Let me take some of that. In fact,
cool.
I'll take some of that.
Nice. Very cool.
cool.
Yeah.
I'll see
And
you
that's
guys
part of his line now, right? I think he has like
Yeah.
a beard line that they're doing also the hand sanitizer.
Oh yeah, you can smell the alcohol in that. That is a potent hand sanitizer.
No, boss, I wasn't drinking. It's hand sanitizer, I swear.
Nice.
Yeah.
With some of these changes that you guys have had to, think outside the box for your style of business, do you think there's going to be any permanent changes that you're having to deal with now that are going to carry over when we get back to normal, whatever that's going to look like?
That's a tough one.
Yeah.
What about rinsing your growlers? I like how you have to rinse your growlers before you come in, which is kind of handy. Granted, you guys rinse them for us again after we rinse them, but
Right.
We do, just extra precautions, right? I mean, we're just trying to play it extra safe.
Yeah, keep our staff safe that are working. Try and wipe down stuff and just keep it extra clean in there. But it'd be nice to have some of the restrictions that have loosened continue going forward. I guess as long as everybody can behave and do the right thing and not drink their to-go drink from a restaurant or bar in their car on the way home and then get pulled over and get in trouble.
Yeah,
but,
I am a fan of the to-go mixed drink. That's a change that I would like to see. That's very, very cool.
one restriction I would like to see lifted is the ability to bring a 64-ounce growler in there and get that fixed.
Awesome, yeah.
That's one restriction from a long time ago that has not lifted.
For sure, yeah.
Well, that actually is lifted, though, Britt.
Has it?
For people that don't produce alcohol, you can get a 64-ounce growler?
So you still have to follow the same rules as it has to be branded with wherever you're taking it. So it would have to be a 64-ounce growler with the Casual Pint logo for us to fill it.
So if I make my own 64 and put the logo on it, can I bring it in?
Yeah, because I have like those stainless steel drink tanks from Oregon. It's a drink tank's logo, and it's got the sticker on there. So I couldn't bring that in to Casual Pint and get that filled because it's not your logo.
I mean, it's a gray area. I know.
Well, yeah, I understand you don't want me bringing in milk jugs.
Yeah.
I get that, but if you had an actual growler, and it wasn't from it. Like I'm not bringing you an upstream brewing company one, to a different bar or a different brewery. Like if I just have a generic, but it's an actual not homemade growler, I don't see a problem with that. But I guess legally that would be hard to define a growler. You would have to put in there like not homemade.
The state of Iowa, you can bring basically anything in and they'll fill it. It doesn't matter what it is.
Like
just rinse it out.
Like a 5-gallon gas tank, just to fill her up.
Yeah. Cup your hands together and they'll fill that up.
There you go. Nice.
So no, I think if they could lift that restriction and the point of the growler is it's reusable, it's more sustainable, right?
Yeah. More economical.
But you shouldn't have to buy one from every place that you frequent.
Right. That's the whole reason I got the drink tanks one because one, they're awesome. I mean, they're expensive, but they're very very cool. But two, it's the reusability of it. And
so if I put a sticker on it with your guys' logo on it, does that work?
That's branded, right? It's branded.
I mean, maybe that's a tough one.
All right. Now
our logo, it has to be purchased at the Casual Pint. That's because some places they'll put a sticker on and we'll send to you.
Oh,
You're going down a slippery slope.
Now, hold on. Yesterday, I did see. Well, yesterday was Friday, right? Yeah. You guys had a 64-ounce growler, but you guys got that out of Tennessee, and that had a wicked handle on it. It looked pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're awesome.
Yeah. It's sort of a German style. It's real ornate. Like metal. The way it's all formed on there and everything. It's pretty cool. But it is Casual Pint branded, by the way.
It is.
But yeah, we've never sold them because up until recently it hasn't been allowed. So we haven't even gone down that road.
I'm gonna take it to a laser etcher and get it all done up right. Brian, can we get some shout outs on the comments? There's been a lot of people that have said hello. For some reason, now that I restarted the app, I get comments that pop up in the corner now.
That's a new feature.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
So hello, neighbors. I had some of your ribs a little bit ago. They're pretty darn good. Thanks, Corey. I appreciate that.
Yeah. And hey to Doug. He said hello. Anybody who's on there. Sandy, hello. Benjamin, hello. Josh, hello. All the people. So thanks for joining us. If you have any comments, go ahead and put them on the comment section.
We're going to be talking about uplifting news.
Yes, we're going to get into that here. We do have a little bit of a delay from the comments. So when you post it, it might take us
2 or 3 minutes.
Oh, not even, like 30 seconds or 20 seconds or whatever. So it might, we'll get to it though. So.
It looks like we're all onto our next drink here. Why don't we go around the table? Dave, what are you guys drinking over there?
Yeah. So I moved on here to a little black project.
Nice. I like the can art on. That's pretty cool. Little paper airplane. That's nice.
Man.
Yeah, their stuff's
So
awesome.
this is Magic Lantern. It's a sour wheat with passion fruit, blood orange, and guava.
Ooh.
And it's only 3.6% ABV.
All day.
It's a beauty.
Yeah, session. There you go.
Yep.
Nice.
Becca, you drinking the same thing?
No,
You drinking the same thing?
nope. I got a pseudo Sue.
Pseudo,
there it
pseudo. There it
is.
is. Boom.
Nice. Toppling Goliath.
Big old dinosaur.
Yeah, that is one of Brit Maya's favorites.
Well, you know,
so
I always
good.
tell people that, you know, if they haven't had an IPA or don't like IPAs, I tell them to try the pseudo soup first. I was like, try that. It's the jump off. And once you start getting them like that, they'll start liking all the other IPAs. For sure.
And Becca, Sandy says hello. She's your friend from Tennessee.
Oh, hey, Sandy. Yeah.
Britt and I are actually drinking on. This is a Sazerac, and this actually comes from Proof. I wanted to kind of highlight a couple different
I
bars
can
that
smell
were.
the orange in it. It smells nice.
So Proof actually expanded. They have
And Proof's located down at Midtown Crossing.
Midtown, but they just opened up at a second location on 192nd and Maple. They barely got through their soft opening before they shut down things. So if you guys want to get some mixed drinks, they got a plethora.
We got a couple friends that did that, have started some soft openings of a lot of different restaurants and bars, and it's just all like, pew!
Shut it down.
Man,
Yeah.
2020. Can we hit reset yet?
Yeah. Well, cheers to that.
Yeah, cheers, everyone.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Everybody?
I guess we should. So the Vucare that we had before, we didn't really talk about, but we'd had it sitting there for about 30 minutes with the ice in it while we tried to figure out these
my
technical.
fault. That's my fault.
That's all, and it's all right. So we didn't talk about it just because it was so watered down. It was very good.
It was very good.
But we'll circle back around to it here.
Yeah.
This Sazerac, this is one of my favorite drinks. I enjoy citrusy whiskey, and this.
It's very orange, citrusy forward.
Yep, and it's got rye whiskey in it. Delicious. It's a little on the sweet side, not terribly, but probably because he has to keep the orange peel and all that in there, it probably ends up a little extra sugary, citrusy. But this is very, very good drinkability on this one.
Well, and it says something for them to be able to make a drink and put it in. It looks like it came in a mason jar, and make it transportable and still have the same qualities of what you would get at the bar. You know.
That was the Sazerac, and this is actually the Vucare.
The Bukudo.
See, that's, in my opinion, one of the beautiful things about innovation that's come out of this, right? And loosening up the laws, because you know, bars or certain places are known for something, right? Whatever their drink may be, and you have to go there to drink it. But now they can put it in these mason jars, send it home with you. I mean, speaking of Sandy in Tennessee, there was a place down there called Che Guevara. No sign at this place, like you had to know it was there to
Nice,
actually
Becca.
find it.
Like a super speakeasy, like the you couldn't even go in. Yeah.
And always packed. Their margaritas are untouchable. Best margarita we ever had in our life. And you know, I mean, obviously, how cool would that be to get to take that home with you, right? Then have to go there.
They're doing them to go now. I saw. Oh.
Yeah, I love it.
I was asking one of the bartenders that James out at Proof, and I said, "Is there any like a downside that you see to the mixed drink thing?" He said, "As a bartender, he said I'm used to like talking to people across the bar and having conversations with people." But he said the biggest thing for him is when he makes a drink, a lot of times he doesn't know how it was because he's just mixing them up and people take it home, and he may never hear how it was. So if you do on a regular basis go get mixed drinks, let them know if you go back and say, "Hey, those were fantastic," and they're fine with criticism too. Like they're looking to improve and do a good job. So just let them know how it is. I think they would really appreciate that feedback.
Anywhere you go, I mean, I've done it at a restaurant before. It was they brought out a soup to me, and it was a phenomenal soup. It was so good. But I was like, one thing that would have made it better is if you would have had some like oyster crackers on the side, or something to dip, or have in it that was crunchy. I'm like, all right. The next time we went, they had something to munch on.
There you go.
Yeah.
At least offer it. Yeah.
Excuse me. Some of the things that I wanted to, starting to get into kind of the good news kind of thing.
Yeah,
here.
I've got a lot of good news stuff jotted down here.
One of the things that I wanted to bring up, since we're talking about bars and restaurants and breweries and all that, there was kind of a shift with distilleries. Breweries had to switch how they operated. Bars had to switch how they operated. Even distilleries did. And what they did, they switched over because they produce or have all this alcohol that they can't use or they use for cleaner. If you know anything about distilling, or even if you don't, when you distill something, you have what's called the head, the heart, and the tail. And the head is really, they use it for floor cleaner. It is like pure ethanol almost, and it's just not drinkable. And you want to use the heart and a little bit of the tail, and they kind of redo that. But the head, they were turning into hand sanitizer,
which is awesome.
Yeah, all you do, it's like 2 parts alcohol, 1 part aloe gel, I think is the recipe. And so all they had to do was get bulk gel, aloe vera gel, and mix it together and take an unusable product to something that everybody wanted now.
Yeah.
Even like Lonely Oak Distillery out in Erling, Iowa, they started by doing it for just the hospitals and first responders and all that. And then once they got everybody taken care of, then they started selling it to just the general public. Soldier Valley Spirits in La Vista started doing it. Brickway here in downtown Omaha, they were doing it. They even have I don't know if they still do because it was going so fast, but they had hand sanitizer on tap. You just had to bring in your own bottle, and they would fill it on tap. I was like, that is really cool. So kudos to those guys for kind of switching and providing a...
Well, I think Brickway was doing the same thing.
That was Brickway that I was talking about.
Oh,
yeah.
sorry.
Yeah.
I heard Lonely Oak, and then I passed out, I guess.
No, that's all right. Did you guys have any good news that you wanted to bring up? I started locally, and I haven't really got into like the other topics, but is there anything that you wanted to bring up, either in the industry or here locally, that you want to talk about? Good news?
Well, I was going to say, adding on to the Brickway thing.
Yeah.
Me and my brother went over there that first day that they offered the hand sanitizer on tap. And
you guys actually went?
We went. We
That's
got
great.
there about 11:45 when they opened at 11. The line, if you know where Brickway is, it was
11th
down,
and Jackson downtown.
and the line was over to Spaghetti Works.
Holy cow.
Man.
I don't know, probably 75 to 100 people in line. And so we took a picture and drove on by.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Good luck. But
Yeah.
I read that they served over 2,000 people that day.
Yeah.
That, in one day. That's crazy.
Yeah.
One day.
I'm sure that there was a ton of social distancing going on in that line, right?
There actually was, to be honest.
Which is, well, that might have made it that long, right?
People,
Yeah, exactly, for
People
sure.
had masks on. They were waiting patiently, and it was. From what I read online, there was like 90-minute waits, and
Wow.
Here's
But,
to
here's to
Vicky
kept-
wanting a shot.
Oh yeah. Yeah. One of the viewers, they wanted us to do a shot real quick. This is all we got for shots. Sorry.
Actually, I do have a
off camera there. We do have.
off-camera rye whiskey over there.
But Brooklyn was giving it away too. You're not.
Well, you could do a donation if you wanted.
Yeah, and so I'm sure they sold some beer too and spirits. People coming in to get the hand sanitizer probably got some stuff to go to. But
Oh yeah, I mean I would if I was already there.
Well, really, the cost for them was just the aloe gel because they were already producing the half or 2/3 of the product with just that the ethanol and mixing it with.
Well, what a great way to advertise too.
Yeah.
I mean, it gets people in the door, gets people seeing the place, gets people. I mean, those people that have never been to the actual place where they distill it and make it now are walking in the door, which is pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
well, they had 2,000 people essentially that probably went and told someone,
yeah,
"Hey, I got hand sanitizer at this place," or they put it online, or they,
Yeah, great advertisement.
Yeah, at a time where you couldn't buy it online. You could go to Amazon or Walmart or Target.com or even walking in the stores and they had nothing. And you go to a local distillery and they had it. That was cool.
yeah.
Very cool.
There's a couple other things that we were going to highlight real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Why don't you talk about Janet?
Oh yeah, so our the lady that does our hair, her name's Janet. Her salon is Running with Scissors. So she's a runner, and
That's
Running
that's
with
a,
Scissors.
That's a great title. I like the name of that.
And she comes to the Pint a lot too. Her and her husband are great Pint supporters and friends of ours. And
yeah, absolutely. And so she did basically you could donate a hair kit that she's donating to doctors and nurses because they have to wash their hair so often now with the virus. So it was shampoo, conditioner, and I think like a mask or something to treatment for your hair or whatever because their hair is getting so dry. So she I think today was the last day. I think she finished up yesterday or today and donated 30 or 40 kits that customers had bought. She donated some herself to one of the hospitals to the staff, that they get these kits. They don't have to go worry about buying shampoo and conditioner and other stuff just to make their lives a little bit easier. So
That's really cool.
I thought that was a great thing that she did to help out, some frontline workers that are
Do something out of the goodness of your heart
Yeah.
and help people out.
Yep. Kind of a little side tangent on the frontline workers. My sister-in-law and brother-in-law, they live in Brooklyn, and they're like 2 blocks from the hospital in Brooklyn.
Jeez.
And we do a lot of I think it's House Party is the name of the app, kind of like FaceTime. And we were on that with them, and we hear this hooping and hollering in the background, and we're like, "What is going on?" They're like, "Oh, it's a shift change at the hospital." And we're like, "Okay, but what's going on?" And they're like, "Oh, like every time they have a shift change, the off-going staff is greeted by the oncoming staff with all this hooping and hollering, kind of making it a party, and hey, good job on your shift and all that." And the craziest part for me was they opened the window, and it got they're 2 blocks away, and it got so loud, and I thought that was super cool. But then I saw the street. It's midday or probably late afternoon in Brooklyn, New York, and there was 0 people on the street. And I was like, that is kind of eerie.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
very, very, I mean, cool on one hand that the hospital, they were trying to make some kind of, goodness come of, I know it's like a war zone here in the hospitals in New York. And
So, speaking of taken to the streets, in Argentina, the harbors, all the seals found out that the people are staying away, so they started invading the city, and they caught the seals sitting on like benches in front of cafes and just walking down the street and having a good old time. Same with there was a wolf or coyote, coyote in San Francisco. He was strolling on the beach and having a good time playing in the water, and it's just like, no humans are here, yay! It's crazy to see the animals are finally coming back to their senses of like, yeah, this used to be my place, yo, and so that's kind of cool to see them playing and being free and fun.
yeah, I did hear about like the canals in Venice, in Italy, where the dolphins had like returned and all that. As I did a little more digging, I found out, well, yeah, there were some. It's not really, I mean, the water's clearer, we'll give you that.
Yeah.
But like the whole, they've come back. Well, it's like, well, they never really left. And the swans.
Maybe you couldn't see them.
Or, yeah, you couldn't see them because the canals were dirty. So it was kind of a misnomer. I was like super like, hey, that's cool. And then, oh. But I do have a bunch of other news. Here locally, I don't know if you guys noticed this, but it just came out yesterday that Nebraska universities are actually offering free tuition to Nebraska students whose family income is less than $60,000.
Wow,
I
that's
saw that. Yeah.
Yeah,
huge.
yeah, that's really really cool. So that's
Go Nebraska.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, really everything is virtual now, so I don't know. They're not going to end this, or this school year is pretty much over. They're not going to go back to school.
No.
But
Right.
who knows what the next school year is going to look like? I'm assuming everything's going to be back to normal, quote unquote, by then. But who knows what that's going to look like?
The kids need to get out of the house.
Yes, this one is for all the parents.
Yes,
out there.
exactly. Being this one's for the parents that have to be teachers.
Right. Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Let's cheers to that,
Yeah,
guys.
Kudos to you guys.
Kudos to the
Definitely cheers to that.
Cheers,
Yeah.
family.
cheers
Yeah.
to.
Oh man, yeah, for sure.
Carly and I have actually separated it. We she takes Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and I take Tuesday, Thursday.
Nice.
To kind of break up the monotony. It's just like it's a whole new breed.
Which does he like better? Does he like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or Tuesday, Thursday better?
Ooh.
Which teacher does he like better?
He's starting to realize that mommy and daddy are the teachers, and we're people too, and we're important. And he's, sometimes like, I know how to do it, and I'm like, okay, we're learning right now, not arguing. We got to take a step back. Sometimes timeout is involved. But now he's starting to realize that mom and dad are teaching now.
Right.
So
I have 2 kids, and what I've found, and my wife and I were actually talking about this last night or today, that because they're in school at home and home all the time and not really leaving much, how much they've bonded. Not that they didn't get along before, like they always got along, but now they're like, they've become kind
all
of
day, everyday friends.
Inseparable almost, which is because it could have gone the other way. They're around
Very
each
well
other all the
could've.
time. But
I think their house, yeah.
Yeah.
The other.
which we're definitely blessed that they went the more inseparable route now, which is really cool.
Well, they love to sing and they love princesses and yeah. So
they do.
just
They do.
keep going with that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
How are your kids doing?
They're all right.
Very politically
8, 9,
correct.
10, and
Yeah, they're not big fans of what's going on. I mean, they are spending way too much time together than they normally would.
right.
They miss their friends.
Well, and you have a boy and a girl
Yep.
instead of
Yeah,
2 girls like Brian.
7 too, so they're definitely big age gap between them, and they like different things, and so
It's been rough. I mean,
Yeah.
no lie. Like we've done what we can, and we're having to adjust the way we interact with them and not expect perfection. You know what I mean? Like it's been hard. And
yeah, and we it's hard on them too. Like they want to go see their friends. They miss their school buddies, and so try to cut them a little slack, but still it's not easy.
We
Yeah.
want to go back to this.
Yeah, let's do that.
What
Yeah,
we're
that's
doing?
fine. Yeah.
Okay.
We're gonna. Oh, David, you never really talked about your beer. Well, neither one of you actually talked about your beer. We talked about our drink. Do you want to talk a little bit about your beers while we're refilling our drinks?
Yeah. So, Black Project, out of Denver. Let me show this logo again because the logo's super
Their
cool.
stuff's awesome.
Oh yeah.
That is super cool.
Where are they out of again?
They're in Denver,
Mhm.
and
Denver.
they pretty much I want to say all they do is spontaneous and wild ales, which means that they don't have any house yeast, which is obviously one of the 4 ingredients in beer. It's just spontaneously fermented, and they specialize in that obviously, and they do a fantastic job. I mean, it's always high quality stuff. They just started distributing in Nebraska maybe 6 months ago, 4 months ago.
Yep.
So it's a treat. I mean, you're lucky to get something like this. This is really how sours are supposed to be done.
Yeah, they're
Kettle
so good.
souring is the easy way to do it.
So what you're saying is it's not an overdone sour.
Well, I mean,
Their sours are, but sometimes they're battery acid sours. Like
That's what I don't like.
yeah.
yeah, they make your cheeks, like
Oh yeah, right in the back there.
Yeah.
Just
Sour
Yeah.
Patch Kid.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But it's traditional sours, kind of the stuff that's been going on in Belgium for a long time.
I was actually talking to my parents about that. They had FaceTime the girls today, and we just got in a conversation. I don't know how sours came up, but I was talking to them about. I think we were talking about yeast and all that, and I was like, "Oh yeah, over in Europe, like they totally have this wild yeast out. They just leave the vats open and let wild yeast get onto it." And they're like, "What?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's how sours are. That's how it's supposed to be."
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Sounds weird, but yeah, try one.
So yeah, we got a few options at the pint for Black Project, but they go really fast.
What are the notes on the sour there? You said there was passion fruit and some other fruits in there. So what are the notes on there?
So I get a lot of guava. Guava is one of the ingredients in there. And that's the main thing that comes through to me.
And now guava is more of a citrusy forward.
For sure.
Okay.
And a little saltiness. It's a sour wheat, but I mean, I would, if you just gave this beer to me, I could say it's almost like a Goza
You
type.
think you get that? Yeah.
What is the difference? So I don't know the difference between a Goza and a sour. What is the difference?
Well, they're both in the sour family, but Gozas are, they have salt as part of it added.
So you usually get a salty finish with a Gosa. Like Dogfish Head Sea Quench is a Gosa. That's a popular one. And you get a little bit of a salty finish at the end.
Yeah, I've had that before.
A lot more refreshing than most sours.
Yeah, I'd say there's a little cucumber in that one, in the Dogfish Head, for some reason. Or maybe it's the cucumber one that I'm thinking of.
Maybe. It's black sea salt or black limes, which I don't even know what a black lime is. Sea salt.
It's a lime that's black.
Right.
They're obvious.
Thank you. I'll be here all night. Right?
You're drinking.
All right. Yeah, I've got Pseudo Sue from Toppling Goliath. Which, it's such a good, like, as Britt said, like, entry level go to. It's a pale ale, but it's really juicy.
Out of Deborah, Iowa, or I'm saying that wrong.
Decorah, yeah,
Decorah.
Small, town in northeast Iowa, and they've got such a good brewery there. They've got such good stuff. We had a growler, a King Sue. That's what we filled our 64 ouncer with.
That was a hot ticket a couple of years ago. The King Sue, they were allowing like 1 can per customer, before they went out on kegs.
Year round, and you can get it all the time, which is unbelievable. Like, we could sell.
Well, they found out that it was a hot commodity.
Yeah, absolutely. It's great. It's citrusy. It's juicy. It's all Citra hop, and Citra is a super just juicy. It's not really bitter at all. Just super juicy, flavorful hop. That's pretty popular in a lot of beers, but it's a great one.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah, agree. Citra hops is one of my favorites.
Me too.
All right. Well, let's get on to some more good news stuff.
I had one more local one, and then
one more local,
and then we can branch out. So, the government actually just passed a $19 billion aid for farmers, which isn't just specifically local, but obviously here in Nebraska we have a big big agricultural state. So that's going to help them out in helping out the people that make our food, which is good. So. I'm sure they're going through a lot with, especially with like the, since the virus, there's the big controversy. Oh, you're not supposed to say, oh, it started in China. But obviously that's where the first reports came from.
Hang on. You just said it. Since the.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be the new norm. Since the virus. Since the. That's going to be a new term now. Yep. Since the.
But they buy a lot of our agricultural products over in China. And when they shut stuff down there, a lot of our exports over there, and with over 1 billion people over in China, that's a big hit to our farmers. So
yeah, I was watching Trump talk about that today, actually, on his press conference, about how he's making China pretty much buy all this stuff from us. Yeah, which is great. The
amount of tariffs we're getting is pretty nice.
Pretty nice.
It can go elsewhere. So. That was the one I had. Britt, why don't you go with yours? And why don't we just do kind of a round?
Yeah, we'll go around the circle.
So, Britt, why don't you go, and then we'll go back at Dave, and then me.
Some positive, fun news. The amount of old people on social media now.
For sure. They're having to get...
I have seen some funny stuff from some old people. There was this guy that he's like, I'm forced to stay indoors, and I've got to watch these murder mysteries. And he's... what do you need to know?
Yep.
And it's funny to see these old people get online and do this stuff because they've never done it before, and they're from a different time.
Sure.
And so it's kind of a no holds bar for them, and they are absolutely hysterical to watch these old people get online and do social media stuff because they just don't know what they're doing for one.
Yeah.
And two, it's just hysterical.
We should talk about this real quick because we went back to it. So this is the Vucare, which is it's a fun drink. It's one of my favorites, but it is VIEUX space CARRE with a little hash thing over there.
Is that a French term?
I think so. Apparently it means old curse.
Oh.
So...
Cool. Thanks for letting me drink the old curse.
Yep. This is from Inkwell. The Sazerac was from Proof, and the Vucare is from Inkwell over in Countryside Village, next door to these guys. Across the street, really, across the parking lot. The other building. Is there like a east-west thing or north-south thing going on with the building? North-south thing. Yeah.
West Side.
Yeah.
Wait, no, that's the school across the street.
Yeah. All right, yeah, that was a good one, Britt, with the old people on online. Becca, do you have another one?
I was going to add to Britt's, and then we had some. So my 91-year-old grandmother is in a retirement home, and they're basically locked down. But we've been FaceTiming with her every week, and she's on Facebook and everything too, and to catch up with her, and so it's been good to be able to see her more. I feel like it's making more people kind of connect, and talk to people that maybe they wouldn't talk to as often because they know that they're not having that social interaction.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we have a local one.
Yeah, I love local ones.
One.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is just sort of interesting news, I would say. But
All right.
It's not bad news, so.
True.
So Cross Strain, which is the first beer we were drinking, that DDH Fairy Nectar.
Yep.
We know those guys real well. We love their beers. They're one of the best sellers at the Pint.
Mm-hmm.
But so I was over there. We had to borrow some stuff from them because we were running out of crowlers, which are those 32-ounce cans that we
I
fill.
was there that day.
Yeah, I mean, it was crazy what we were going through. And so anyway, they helped us out. I was returning the favor, bringing some stuff back to them. And I overheard Dougie, the lead bartender there, say that they've dropped their prices. They're basically giving everyone that comes in and buys stuff a 20% discount, but they're adding it back on as in form of a tip for anybody who's working at Cross Strain.
Oh, that's cool.
So,
that's
basically,
awesome.
you're still paying the same normal price, but 20% of that sale is going back to
That's
Cross
good.
Strain.
Yeah, that's got to really, so like for even people like your bartenders and all that are still doing all the to-go stuff. Yeah, that's a big hit because the tips are different when it's just, oh, you just made it and you just handed it to me versus, oh, no, you're actually serving me a drink or making me a drink. So, yeah, the tips are a lot different when you're in person.
I know when I'm at the Pint and I'm buying stuff nowadays, I tip even though it's just to go, to go beer. I still tip. I'm like,
for
because
sure.
I know that they need that extra little bit of income.
Yeah, I have a set tip amount that I did normally before the virus or whatever.
Before the virus.
Yeah, but now, it's the new normal. My tip has definitely gone up especially for places like that, just because I know that everybody's struggling, and being a small business owner myself here locally, that you want to keep people employed. And it's a hard time for everybody right now. So for sure.
Dave, this one's for you, buddy. The amount of people that are doing golf trick shots now.
Oh yeah, yeah. So what was the one that single-handedly brought Booyah back? And it was like off the roof and into the cup, and the daughter comes up. She was like 6 or 8 years old. She comes up to the camera. She's like, Booyah! It was great.
So hop online, check that out, Dave.
Yeah.
Booyah.
Yeah, I like it.
Dave plays a lot of. You were a golf pro, right? So.
Golf pro for 15 years, baby.
Oh, just the 15? Is that?
Not the name. But
Half your life? Is that what you're saying? Half your life?
Yeah.
It was a blast. Wouldn't trade it for anything, but love what we're doing now.
Yeah. Do you have anything? So Becca had one. Do you have anything to add for good news on that one, David?
I mean, the Cross Strain one was kind of my interesting news, but / good news.
We're looking at our list.
Yeah,
Okay. It's all right. No, hey, I can keep going.
I've got one here.
Yeah,
too.
go for it, Brian.
Are you going to skip me?
No, go for it, Brian.
So there's a one. This is kind of a 2 or 1.5 parter. So there's a when I was doing research on good news.
When you do that, I think of like the newsroom at the White House. It's like, this is a 2-part question. This is
So this is a 1.5 part answer.
Exactly.
So in doing research, I found a website called goodnewsnetwork.org. So that in and of itself is good news for me, that there's actually a website called goodnewsnetwork.org.
I'm going to write that down.
Yeah. So I pulled a few articles from there. I didn't want to pull too many just because I wanted to.
I don't have a pen.
It's hard to remember. Goodnewsnetwork.org. But one of the things that was at the top really was asthma symptoms and hospitalizations decrease. And so I looked into the article, and because some of this is from the pollution levels coming down, because there's not a lot of people out and going to work anymore, so pollution has actually gone down. Also, globally, we have decreased coal as a power source. So
Really?
because of that and the lack of pollution, they're seeing a lot less asthmatic symptoms and hospitalizations because of that, which I thought, and having a daughter with asthma, I thought that was really cool.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. I did want to talk about this drink a little bit, the Bucare. What do you think of it, Britt?
It's horrible.
As
I take a dry drink.
It's
No,
not
very good. It's very good.
It's not a overly sweet drink.
Nope.
It's like a citrus forward. To me, like I taste bitters in this. I honestly don't know all the ingredients of the Bucare. I think Tyler sent me those from Inkwell. 2 seconds. I don't usually like looking up things while I'm on the podcast. But
In terms of curse standards, is it an older curse? Is it a newer curse? Where's that fall?
that's when I picked it up. It tastes like an old curse.
It's an old curse.
Yeah. But yes, there are 2 different kinds of bitters in here, which is why the bitters are actually pretty forward. Sweet vermouth, rye whiskey, and brandy in this. So
Yeah.
it's a little sweet, but I would say the bitters definitely you taste those kind of up front, which is really, really good. I would highly recommend a Vucare. And if you don't know how to spell it, just remember the name, Vucare, and just order one from my craft cocktail place.
Vucare.
Yeah, especially if you go to Inkwell.
Yes.
Yep. So that was
Countryside Village.
Countryside Village, a small town in the city.
You guys saw this, and Trump actually talked about this, that, General Motors, we all love that company because, cars come out of that place. Since car production is slowed down, which makes sense because cars aren't on the road as much anymore, they started making ventilators.
Ford and Tesla also did that.
All of them did.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yep. So what kind of ventilator? Do you want a Ford, a Tesla, or a GM ventilator? Which kind do you want?
What do you want? We got it all.
Yeah.
So I thought that was positive news that they're keeping their workers employed, doing something else that everyone needs.
For sure.
So
for sure.
And the abundance of ventilators that are going to be built, if we don't need them, we're going to help out other countries with them.
One kind of a side note from that, which I think is positive news, is there was a lack of ventilators, which is why this need arose, and the companies started stepping in and doing that.
Sure.
Then we found out that we didn't need as many ventilators as originally thought, which I think is good news. That's kind of a 2-part.
That's a positive thing.
Yeah. So one positive is all these companies stepped in to fill this need, and 2, well, we didn't really need as many. And wow, okay, we've got all these ventilators now. We didn't need them, so that to me is good news.
Positive news.
Yeah, for sure.
Well,
so next one. So Becca's gone. So do you want to fill in there on yours, Dave?
Oh, okay, so this is kind of so it's good news / something that's coming back around, which is mustaches for kids.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
Awesome.
Which is probably a lot easier now that you're home. You can just grow it out, man.
Right. So traditionally every May, Mustaches for Kids starts up, which is a charity that supports children's causes.
Great organization.
And you guys were voted sexiest place to work. Was it 2 years ago?
Every year.
Has it been every year since then?
Back-to-back champions.
Nice.
So so last year we raised, the number was right around $40-something thousand for the Casual Pint in Omaha, Nebraska. Right, you're talking 10 guys raised $40,000.
That's amazing.
50-something.
Which is unbelievable. Yeah. But anyway, this year they're still going to hold it, so it's going to look a lot different than we normally would. And but May 1st, you're going to see a bunch of guys with clean-shaven faces who normally would have beards at the pint because craft beer is kind of neck beardy anyway.
I like you coined the term neck beardy. That's nice. That's a new term now.
So
if you've got a beard and a monocle, you get 10% off.
You're gonna see some funky mustaches coming up at the Casual Pint and on our virtual happy hours when we do it, because we're going ahead with it. We're gonna raise some dough. It probably won't be what we normally could do or would do, but that doesn't matter. We still gotta try and help out these charities that are helping children, because that need probably isn't going to stop.
For sure,
No.
for sure. I had a 2-part question for you, Becca. One is, how do you feel about the beard thing?
Oh, I don't. You know what? I don't care. Like it doesn't bother me.
Lots of pokey comments is what I do.
Yeah.
There we go.
His problem is he's got hairs that stick out straight from his face.
Well, fortunately for you, Dave, you know somebody that can help you out with that. Boyd over at Simple Man, he's got product that can help you out with that.
There you
kind of smooth that out.
Yeah, Boyd's beard is looking great right now.
It's majestic again. So, and then the second part is, how do you feel about being married to somebody that works at the sexiest place in America, or in sexiest place to work
in Omaha?
In Omaha, yeah.
Well, I mean, luckily, we're surrounded by it there.
It's all upside, baby.
It's all.
Yeah.
I was going to say, she started high with her voice. It came down from
Yep.
Mm-hmm. She's had to carry a big stick now.
speaking of Countryside Village and Boyd and everybody, we went to Dennis and Dolman.
Oh yeah, yeah.
About-
Good place to get your haircut.
And got straight razor shaves that Dennis and Dolman was providing, which is killer, by the way. If you've never
For
had
sure.
straight shave, it's amazing.
Yes, I agree.
So
We
did
have
that.
other kinds in here, Britt. So if you want to,
Oh, all right. Yeah, if we wanted to step on something else, my glass is empty, and I can't believe I still have an ice cube still sitting in here. Maybe I should. You've got new ice cubes.
I do have new ice.
New
cubes
ice
here.
cubes, new glass. That's it.
Since you were gone, Becca, we did kind of skip you. So if you want to talk about a good news thing from your end, I will fill our glasses, and you can talk about some good news.
I don't know if we have anything. I think
Something positive with your kids or something.
Yeah, and I think I guess one thing is just the slowing down of everything right now, right? You're
For
not
sure, slower society now.
exactly, you're not dragging your kids to a bunch of events. You're not, there's of course people are still busy with work stuff if they're working from home and everything, but it still just has been just kind of a global slowdown. And I think, I was reading an article on Medium the other day, and it was talking about how there's going to be this great race to open up the economy and, really choosing what those important things are to let back into your life.
I like how you said global slowdown. That was very awesome and righteous. It's very well put. It's a global slowdown right now.
Yeah.
You got to reevaluate what's good in your life and what's bad in your life, and deal with it.
And how many meetings could have been an email?
Right. No, I mean, if you wanted to do something, now's the time to do it. And if you don't do it now, will you ever do it? Is the question. Because now you've got plenty of time to do it. So
Exactly.
if you've been putting something off, now's the time to do it.
Oh, for sure.
For sure.
Yeah.
Projects around the house. We were talking about that earlier.
Yeah.
What you guys
Oh,
do?
yeah. We painted our whole house practically on the inside. So, there's definitely stuff that I think you put off, or you think you're too busy to do. And even now, I feel like we still think we're too busy to do stuff, or, just little things though around the house or whatever it is. I don't know. And I don't mind this slowdown, I guess.
For sure.
And my kids are driving us crazy, yeah, for sure.
Mine are too. Mine.
Oh.
Yeah, mine
Do
too.
we cheers again to that for the parents
Let's
that are
do
staying
that.
home?
Cheers.
Cheers.
Parents cheers, but
Oh,
it's been
wow.
really good to spend time with them and us together as a family. So, yeah, we're fortunate to have that for sure.
Sorry, Brian and I just started a brand new drink, and it is lemon lime in your mouth.
So this is from Proof. It's called the Applewood, and he's got a little applewood in there.
Apple, then that's apple. Yeah, I'm like, there's some lemon lime going on there,
Yep,
but
got that too.
apple would definitely be the flavor.
Some smoked cedar planks to get in there, and yeah, this is
This is solid right here.
Yeah.
Nice job, Proof.
So yeah, go to Proof, get the Applewood. You won't be.
This is amazing.
You will not.
So what's the main liquor in there? Whiskey?
I honestly didn't get the full ingredient list on that. It's just delicious. How about that? We just leave it at that.
That's good enough for me.
It's
Yeah.
a Proof. It's an what? what's
Applewood.
The Applewood.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can taste a little hint of smokiness in it. Definitely, like I said, lemon limey kind of flavor.
There's
but-
a lot of there's not one flavor that stands out. They all just kind of marry together, and there's a lot of different flavors. Like you said, there's the citrus, the lemon, the apple, the
I can taste
smoked
the smoke.
wood.
I can taste the smoked wood too.
Yep, it's all in there. It's good.
That's
It's
cool.
good.
That's the new jump off right there.
Yep, that might have a new favorite coming up here. I wanted to talk about another good news here that we should all be thankful for. Tom Hanks has recovered.
Oh,
And he filmed from home the Saturday Night Live intro.
in front of a green screen.
Yeah, well, at home, yeah.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
in
He was
front
at
of a
home.
green screen.
Yep, but still, you
Okay,
know what?
all right.
It's like Tom Hanks and
Agree
Betty
to-
White.
I
You know?
agree to disagree on that one.
Yeah, Tom Hanks and Betty White. You better not mess with those people.
Why did he shave his head though? That was weird.
Because there's the whole hair thing. Like because the virus attaches to hair, there was a lot of healthcare workers and first responders.
He said it was for a new role.
It could be that too, but I thought it was
Who's filming right now?
small production companies, less than 10 people. Production companies.
Production
Yes.
companies.
Right?
I don't know. Yay for Tom Hanks.
Yay for Tom Hanks. Right. That's what Britt, on to you.
You guys see Rita? His wife Rita did the Naughty by Nature.
No, I haven't seen that one, but I do find it hilarious that her last name is Wilson because of the whole Castaway. That's awesome.
She had to memorize a Naughty by Nature song for a previous role that she played.
Was it the OPP or was it Hip Hop Hooray? Or
It was Hip Hop Hooray.
Okay, yeah, which is a good one.
I like the down with OPP.
Yeah, there's 5 little letters that I'm missing here.
She went on and refilmed, or she redid it from her house, and anyway, they're donating all the proceeds from that download to help, coronavirus support victims, whatever. So that's been going on. That's pretty cool.
Very, very cool.
Yeah, she's getting into it, into the microphone.
Mm-hmm.
And
Was it like the? Have you seen those lip sync battles with Jimmy Fallon?
Yes.
Those are hilarious. Oh my goodness, my favorite's still Emma Stone.
Emma Stone took it.
That was still my favorite episode.
Drop it like it's hot.
Yeah, you can find it on YouTube. Jimmy Fallon, Emma Stone lip sync battle. Amazing. You will thank me later.
All right. Some good news. There were some pandas in China that for the first time in a long time actually got to mate because no one was staring at them anymore.
Which that is awesome. They had some privacy finally. They're shy. It's not that they don't they're not in the mood. It's they're shy. Oh, that's awesome. That's beautiful.
Just saying. True news.
So now they have to black out the enclosure now to get them to mate. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, have you seen those videos of like the people that have to dress in panda costumes and like help the pandas along?
I wouldn't want to be that guy.
No, I would not. Oh, they're funny. Oh. All right, you guys got another good news thing that you want to talk about?
Well, we're probably about out of good news.
All right, well.
We can keep Britt and I have a good list, so we can keep going.
Stimulus checks came.
Yeah, that was one of them.
Boom, boom, boom.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you guys got stimulus checks. I mean, you guys are small business owners and all that stuff, but the people that are, people do know that I'm out of work right now. I work in a facility that AV and do large production for big conferences and stuff like that. And we're not doing that anymore. So I was very happy to see that stimulus check come through, and took care of mortgage and took care of all the bills and took care of all the other stuff that needed to be taken care of. And hopefully, people are using their stimulus check the right way. Some people are spending it on tigers and.
Thank you, Tiger King. Oh my goodness, Carol Baskins.
She killed her husband. It's
Yeah.
under the septic tank.
That's
I don't know,
right.
whatever.
I had another. So, for the first time in 30 years, the Himalayan mountaintops are visible because of the decrease in air pollution.
Yeah. And it's actually, you can actually physically see a map of the air pollution. China was one of the first. They were kind of like seeing the air pollution above China, and there was this big red cloud above them. And then it was like in December, it was slower, and then January is even tinier, and then like went away in February. So it's so cool to see that happen, and go, maybe we need to start thinking about not using fossil fuels anymore and start using,
Actually, in Iowa, I didn't have this on the list. I just read about it. That wind energy is outpacing coal in Iowa.
Tape or something, Brian?
I got it. It just fell down.
All right.
Got it.
Hitting your knees?
Yep. So yeah, for that just happened like a couple days ago. That wind energy outpaced coal in Iowa. Because here in the Midwest, we're pretty coal heavy. I know.
Well, I mean, in
globally-
Iowa, if you travel through Iowa, if you go anywhere on the northern side of Iowa, or even traveling to Des Moines, you will see a plethora of wind towers. We deal with Berkshire Hathaway Energy and Mid American Energy with my company that I work with, and to see their logos on the side of those things, I go, nice job. I will
say,
can't imagine what it would cost to erect one of those wind towers.
It's got to be insane.
But what's the payoff?
Well, yeah. There's
the payoff is good
for sure. And I will say so. And this is going to date me, but like 20 years
Because
ago.
you're the oldest person on the show,
Yeah.
Brian.
20 years ago when I was in the military, like I was, my school was first out of Great Lakes, Illinois. I was in the Navy, so we had I was stationed up in Great Lakes, Illinois, which is just north of Chicago there. And we used to come back to Omaha, like on the weekends, and we would drive through Iowa every weekend. You know how many windmills we saw 20 years ago? One.
Wow.
We saw one 20 years ago. And now, within 20 years, coal
They have
coal
littered the
is-
landscape, and you guys are doing awesome things there in Iowa.
Yeah, for sustainable energy. What am I good? So we kind of briefly touched on it. I think it might have been before the podcast, but so those of you that have not seen it need to go to YouTube and find John Krasinski's.
I need some more of that stuff.
John Krasinski's Some Good News, or SGN Network.
Oh yeah. He's the guy that
From Jack Ryan and The Office. And,
Yep.
Which, speaking of The Office, they just had their 15-year anniversary of The Office, and that's episode 1. He actually has Steve Carell on there, and it's a beautiful little segment that they have on there.
he's got a half a lime in here right
I know, yeah, that's where your lemon lime comes from.
now. Yeah.
But if you have not found it, he's got 3 episodes out right now. It just started.
All you have to do is go on YouTube and type "good news" because he's like the first one that pops up.
Some Good News is the name of it.
But
yeah.
just type in "good news." He's like one of the first ones that pops up.
So some of the topics that he covers, healthcare workers are getting some much-needed love, outpouring of love and support from communities everywhere. The interview that he had with Steve Carell in The Office because of their 15-year anniversary, and they have some really neat kind of behind-the-scenes talking about some of the moments, because John asked Steve Carell what some of his favorite moments of the show were.
Yeah.
And a lot of them ended up being like behind-the-scenes stuff, like, the
Stuff
way they
you
were
wouldn't
together.
see.
Yeah, so it was kind of cool. Plus, episode 2, that's awesome. There's like he's not even had it out.
This is like start of the show, episode 2.
So there's 3 episodes out now. The episode 1 came
Oh
out.
no, of the good news.
Yeah, so
Gotcha.
episode 2 of Some Good News. Watch it. There are 17 million views right now, and it's been out for less than a week. So
Perfect. Nice.
you need to go watch that. That's pretty cool.
Can we link that to our account?
Right? Just general stories of people coming together.
Hang on a second. Becca, I heard you crack a can in the background. So behind the scenes,
Oh,
what are you
yeah.
doing over there?
Oh, you got a new one going on?
Drinker. Crooked Stave out of.
Oh, I do.
Denver.
Yeah, Crooked Stave. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've not had them.
Mandarin IPA, is that what that says?
Dream IPA. Yeah, it's got mandarin, citrus, vanilla, double dry hopped with mandarina, Bavaria, and citra hops.
Nice. That's a very cool can. I like the moon on there.
Yeah.
That's a new one from them. We're still getting tons of fresh beer and new beers.
Mhm.
Obviously, we're just buying mainly packaged stuff right now, but yeah, that's a new one.
Yeah,
Really
we're
good.
getting a ton of new. Yeah.
I do like mandarin oranges. So does it have the mandarin orange flavor? Is that
A little bit. Yeah, I don't get a ton of vanilla.
You know what I was impressed with? The fog.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
Oh man, that fog was awesome. I bought 2 4-packs of that, and even Alex was like, "Get it while you can," because it's not going to be around very often, and I'm glad that I actually purchased it when I could.
it gets foggy after that, though. After a couple of those.
Definitely gets foggy after that.
Variant too. So Simcoe hopped one.
That's a cool thing, like with that cross-train beer. They're pushing a lot of their stuff because they already had beers ready to go, and they're having to throw them in cans now instead of kegs. But that's good for everybody because that still gets it out to people.
Yeah. But we're still getting some kegs. There's great keg deals too. If people have a kegerator at your house,
Now's the
Let-
go
yeah.
time.
Now's the time to buy a kegerator at your house.
exactly it is.
I mean, if you're looking to
There's
up your
such good
game,
deals.
like-
Oh,
I saw something from Conan O'Brien the other day that said, I think we should redefine the term alcoholic during this, because, I mean, I feel like
if I'm gonna die, I don't want to be sober.
everybody's drinking more. I mean, the numbers and stats have shown that people are at home, people are stressed, people are worried. I mean, so, yeah.
yeah.
And back onto good news. Corona karaoke. Have you guys heard about this yet?
Oh,
No.
So apparently, people have been getting it online and doing what we're doing right here, right now, where they're broadcasting and simultaneously talking to other people online. Corona karaoke is, I guess, this new thing that I'm sure that the karaoke fans out there that would go to the bars and you're sitting in your seat at the bar and it's karaoke night and they come up and you go, wow, they're amazing singers, are just antsy. They're just like, we can't go to the bar anymore. We can't sing to everybody. Are doing this Corona karaoke thing, and it's blowing up. It's big. It's on YouTube. Just type in Corona karaoke, and you'll find a lot of just fun people out there just trying to get together and have a good time. And that brings me to another thing. I've actually seen a lot of DJs here in Omaha doing their DJ sets live at home. And you can just tune in so I turned one on the other day. We were doing some Wii bowling, and Guyver and Carly and I were just hanging out, and I put on a DJ Jab, and he's the number one DJ in Omaha. Sorry, apparently I'm number 3 DJ in Omaha. Whatever, who cares?
I ain't jealous.
I'm not jealous, but I'll tell you what, he knows how to play the good, the old, the good, the old, the old, and then the good. He really mixes it up really well. And so we're seeing a lot of dance parties and Corona karaoke and neat things that no one ever would have thought of before, because it's like, oh, well, you just go to the bar and you go do that. Well, now you can't, so they're reinventing the wheel.
So he's out in nature.
It's so neat.
So neat. I had another one. So I had talked earlier about the goodnewsnetwork.org.
Yeah.
So Reddit is another
outlet.
Yes, I do like Reddit a lot. I actually gave it up for Lent, which was super hard, actually.
Sure it was.
But
I'm sure you get a lot of information from
I do.
a place called Reddit.
Yep. Trust me, it's a good community. Don't get sucked in. Or do. So they have an uplifting news category. And this one, have you heard of Code Rocky? It's a new term that's come out.
Like dun-dun-dun,
yeah,
dun-dun-dun, Rocky?
Yeah. So
jumping up the staircase?
So it started in Springfield, Massachusetts at Bayside Hospital. They used Code Rocky over the whole intercom system. When somebody actually recovered from COVID, they would do a Code Rocky, and they would play the Rocky theme song. And it's starting to catch on around the nation. So I thought that was cool.
That's awesome.
That is cool.
Yeah.
Great song for it.
Yeah, exactly.
In New York, they were playing Maybe Here Comes the Sun, or I don't know if that's the title of the song, but Here Comes the Sun. Cool, though. I like the Rocky one, too. That's great.
That is awesome. What we've seen a lot lately is just random acts of kindness. So I mean, I could name 1,000 things, but there's a few things. There's this kid that used to make cupcakes and sell them. He then baked a ton of them and brought them to the workers of the hospital. We've also had free online classes. Stuff that people would charge for are now for free, which is so, that's a random act of kindness right there as well. Money off of bills. Speaking of money off of bills, I received a check in the mail. I do American. Now the name's slipping away from me. American. I have my auto and home insurance from them, from American.
American National, American Family Insurance.
American Family Insurance. Thank you. The drinks are setting in, guys. Anyway, they sent me a check for $100 because I have 2 cars insured from them, and they give me $50 per car.
Oh,
nice.
So
you're probably not driving as much, and
that's exactly what the letter said. Is you're probably not driving as much, and we just want to return the favor.
I'll need to get on my insurance company about that.
Right. There was a florist out of New York, and he was just sitting on all of these flowers because, he was the florist for all of the weddings and all that stuff. So he just gave out free flowers. Anybody who wants them, just come get them.
Idaho potato farmers, they're giving away potatoes because they'd go bad if they.
Random acts of kindness. You're sitting on it. It's gonna go bad. You might as well, instead of throwing it away, give it away. You know,
that's pretty cool.
Give it away, get away now.
That's pretty close.
Oh, there you go.
My next one. So we are starting to see the beginning of the decline of offshore call centers. So
You know what? I haven't received a, something's up. Your insurance is, or not insurance, the warranty. Your warranty's up.
the car warranty. How did they find me?
Right? I'm the third person that's owned this car. Like, how did they find me?
Right. So there was a telecom giant, Optus. They actually took this the working at home measures that they have because of the COVID thing before the COVID. So they're actually making it a permanent fixture in their business model, which could signal the decline of offshore call center models. And I would actually say that a lot of the places that I've called recently, because I still operate small business and I still make a lot of calls. And I will say that I'm like talking to people in their homes here in the United States. So it's really interesting because people are working from home, and
The ability to do that, that's awesome.
For sure. There have been some technical issues with that, depending on the apps that they use. But yeah,
We all
it's
know
really good.
about technical issues.
I know we
Start
don't.
of the
Yeah.
program.
Yeah, we only started half an hour late. It's fine.
It's fine. It's fine.
No big deal. No big deal.
To be accurate, 40 minutes late.
Yeah. Potato, tomato, whatever.
Right. And we're here now.
Yes. I had a couple actually. I know that I didn't want to do like direct COVID relation ones too much because there's so much negativity going on right now. But there's a couple uplifting ones that I found. And this is a two-parter question. No.
Right.
So the first one is
Answer? Question?
There was a
Question? Answer?
4-year-old with cancer that was going through cancer treatments that actually recovered from COVID.
A 4-year-old.
A 4-year-old. I was like, that
Interesting.
going through cancer
Because they
treatment.
say that kids don't get it.
Well, it's not that they don't get it; it's that their immunities fight it off.
Yeah.
So
Their immunities are better than
this
us old folks here on this show.
Yeah, this 4-year-old was going through cancer treatments, got COVID, and then recovered from it. So I was like, awesome. On the flip side of that, there was a 106-year-old that got COVID and beat it. Both of them, I think, are from the UK because they were both from the articles were from the BBC. So I'm assuming that they were from the UK, but it's possible. Europe, UK, somewhere in there.
I'm gonna start this question off. I'm not gonna answer it. I'm gonna pass it off to Becca first, and then Dave, and then we can go around to you. Becca.
Yeah.
First thing that you're gonna do when they lift this whole COVID thing and we can finally just go do whatever we want to do. Not that I'm not doing whatever I want to do already, but what's the first thing that you want to do when this is all done and over with?
Man, I'd love to open up the Casual Pint and have all of our customers in and just see everybody. Like I'd love to have a big party at the Pint and just see everybody and give people hugs and say thank you for your support because our customers have been great. I mean, coming in still, like you said, tipping on packaged beer and taking care of our staff. And, I'd love to just have a big party at the Pint and just see everybody and catch up. And
like we all don't have it. We're all at the Pint now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think, for me, I either want to take a nice vacation somewhere, like
Amen.
family, or just something simple like go to a restaurant and sit down at a restaurant. I think that would be a big deal for me because I honestly don't know how this will open back up and how they're going to let people gather and at what points.
I know
But
that's true. Yeah, it's gonna be tough.
Even if they do allow it, I think that it's just become so. It's amazing how quickly it's been ingrained in us. I mean, just think like not even 3 months ago. Like we were all shaking hands and giving hugs and hanging out. And,
High fives.
yeah. And
Fist bumps.
And now we're worried about touching doorknobs and being within 6 feet of each other. Yeah. So it's pretty crazy how quickly it ingrained in us. So I agree with you, David, that when we get back to normal, it's still going to take a while before people are gathering in mass. I think that's going to be a long time.
Gathering in mass and not wearing masks.
Which I'm not like so even though that like remember like the videos like here in America we didn't wear masks out in public and when you saw videos from China and people are getting on the subway and they're wearing masks in public and all that and you're like well, that's a little weird. Now we're doing it here. It's become kind of normal and so I think that's going to become more of a normal thing is people that
Agreed.
are sick
Yep.
or whatever, which is a good thing because you can social distance from people that are wearing the mask. You know,
You know what this drink reminds me of? So
that's all right. We're at Drink Talk. We need to talk about the drink.
exactly. We talk about the drink.
And I'm empty, so I need to go to the next.
Well, the drink that is that from Proof?
So Applewood is from Proof.
This is the Applewood.
Yes.
I'm drinking on the Applewood. What it reminds me of is Lysol or not Lysol? No. Slow down.
Sounds amazing.
Slow down. The wood spray that you.
Oh yeah, like the Pledge.
The pledge that you put on wood.
Mm-hmm.
It's that smell.
Okay, I'm with you.
I'm tasting that smell
Well, that's because I don't know if you want to
because
put it on the camera.
it's the lime or the lemon that's inside of it.
I don't know if you want to put that on camera.
There's
so.
a solid lemon inside of that. But it's the smell of Pledge in a cup, and Pledge to me smells good.
Mm-hmm.
It smells clean. It smells nice. But there's a half lemon inside of this cup, and that's what I get in this drink, and it's good.
Yeah,
it's solid.
For
it's
sure.
really solid.
Well, and I picked these up today, so it hasn't been like marinating in there for too long. So I don't know. Like when I picked it up, I think he made it that day.
But when I taste it and drink it, it's solid on the tongue. It tastes good. And then when I'm breathing, I'm like, this is the smell of Pledge on my dining room table. That's wooden.
In a good way.
In a good way.
Yeah, we don't want to. Oh, it tastes like bleach. That's awesome.
No, I'm not saying take Pledge and shoot it in your mouth. That's not what I'm saying.
People were doing that, which is gargling.
Yeah,
with
they
bleach.
were also eating Tide Pods.
Yeah.
That was dumb too.
What are you doing, people?
What are you doing, society?
Oh my goodness.
Slow down. Don't do that. They go in the dishwasher, not in your mouth.
Oh man.
Or a washing machine, whatever. What do we got there?
Oh, well, are you ready for another one? Do you need an ice cube?
I'll make sure it happens.
I don't have a big ice cube. We're out of those big ice cubes.
I'll go get more.
Okay. While he's doing that, so this is another one from Inkwell that I got, Dave's neighbor, and this is the Boulevardier, which is a very fancy drink. I'm gonna refer back to the text. Rye whiskey, sweet vermouth, and Campari.
So are you telling me I got to drink this with my finger up in the air?
And up till now, the Applewood was new for me, and this is new. I've never had the Applewood or this before. The other ones I've had, so I'm interested to try this one. But I just poured myself one.
All right. While he's doing that, I'm gonna bring a small piece of solid information of good stories into this drink talk. My son and I were able to build a snowman and wear shorts in the same week.
We experienced all 4 seasons a week.
We did spring, fall, summer, winter, all of the seasons in 1 week, and that was a solid snowman that Guyver and I built. In fact, my wife found the scarf that was from this tour Omaha, Visit Omaha thing, and we put the Visit Omaha thing in there. We got almost 100+ likes on that thing, and 100 likes. 100 likes. I got 100 likes. Woo! People like my things. But no, I thought that was cool. That and what I was worried about is I've got bulbs planted all over the yard, so I've probably got 200+ bulbs in my yard, and so when they came up, I was like, yay, they came up and they're doing good and everything's awesome. Everything is awesome. But then the snow came, and I was kind of worried that I was going to lose those bulbs, but they kind of bent over a little bit, but then they straightened back up today with all the sunshine we had today. So the snow, as much as we all hated it, it was kind of a cleansing in my palate, kind of a, oh, one more time snow, and then it's out of here. It was literally, I think, a 20-hour snow. It lasted about 20 hours.
Right, yeah, something like that, if that.
Yeah.
So this morning, the girls, when they got up, they were looking. Well, it was probably 9 or 10 o'clock at night that they they were looking out the windows, and I was like, "What are you guys doing checking out the window?" And they're like, "We're just checking to see if the snowman died." Because they knew that it was like warm today. It was like 66 today, so they were checking to see if their snowmen were still still out there. I was like, well, that's an interesting way to put it. Seeing if the snowman died. Sorry, Frosty.
Right. Dave, how you doing over there, man?
Oh, I'm hanging in there, buddy.
You hanging in?
Yep.
Yeah.
Do you guys want to continue on with us, or do you need to get going? 'Cause
Yeah.
we're going to continue on for a
Yeah,
little
we're
while.
going to continue on if you guys want to join.
Yeah, I mean, we can do a little bit more because
Okay. We want to respect your
Not
time.
not that we're going to be on for another 2 hours. I'm just saying,
We
maybe
wanna
another half hour or so.
Yeah, we just want to respect your time.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
No, I mean,
thanks,
we have no commute.
You're at home.
Yeah.
It's Saturday night.
We go like this, and boop, then we're back to life.
All right, it was just double checking with y'all, making sure everything's going to be good.
Perfect. All right. Well,
We understand that you guys have kids to take care of too.
Without being in the studio or being at the pint when we normally do this,
right.
it's different, man, because it's almost like sometimes I'm just sitting here, I'm listening to the conversation, and like I'm just watching it normally. You know what I mean?
but you're also on.
But you're also on. But I can't believe this worked out so well as it did. It took me. It took me a little while to. I was like, all right, so they need the audio feed from us, but then they can't be receiving the audio feed from us that we're putting on live. But then they want to hear us, but we don't. It was mind trip for me for a little bit, but we figured it all out.
You got it done,
You
yeah.
did.
We got it done.
I want to talk about this real
Yeah.
quick. So
Let's talk about this drink.
So this one definitely is vermouth forward.
I can see the vermouth in it. I can
Yeah.
see the red in it.
Yeah, it's not sweet. Like at all.
Where is this from? Let's start with that.
So this is the give me a second here because I'm going to butcher the name because it's a unique one. It's
yeah.
one I have. It's called the Boulevardier.
Smells good though.
It's from Inkwell. It's like
That is vermouth forward.
yeah, very vermouth forward, which I like vermouth. I'm a fan of vermouth, but this is yeah, that's definitely a predominant note on that one. No.
I got some more whiskey over in the corner we can dumb that down with.
So, well, I'm gonna. We'll get after this. We'll get to what our favorites were, but
Yeah.
So my next one, also from the UK. Did you guys hear about the 99-year-old British veteran from World War II that raised $25 million for the NHS, which is their health system over in the UK?
What?
By walking around his garden.
What?
With his walker. He wanted to raise. So he's 99 years old, World War II veteran, and he wanted to walk around his garden with like walker included, and he wanted to raise $1,000 by his 100th birthday, which is on April 30th. And now they're up to, as of yesterday, it's like 20 million pounds, which is like $25 million.
That's amazing.
Is he getting her lap or something? Or
Well,
He's just in the background shaking his phone.
yeah, I don't. So I don't
Getting
think.
steps in.
Yeah, I don't think he's still walking. I think he did a number of laps, but it like caught the attention, went viral, and even Prince William like called it. Like he's actually put it out there. He called him an absolute legend for like just raising this money for the NHS, which is their, like I said, that's their the healthcare system in the UK is NHS. So I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
And another one, I guess the Princess of Sweden, because of the outbreak that they've had there, which isn't huge. They've got, like, as of yesterday, 13,800 some cases in Sweden. The Princess of Sweden actually went to work for the hospital to kind of help out with the burden at the hospitals. I was like, that's pretty
There
cool.
you go. And now Becca's opening another beer. You can hear it in the background. What's
I
going on?
love
here?
those sounds.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
little
Hop Streaker.
Yeah, that is one of my favorites.
Cross Train,
Yeah.
we love you guys. They are a staple in Nebraska. If you don't know about Cross Train, you don't know. You got to get you some. Cross Train is probably one out of 10 breweries here in Nebraska that are just on point.
Well, and so
They are probably number one, if not number two. They are
for hops. If you
no, if you for hops for sure.
If you like hoppy beer,
Well, no. Cross Train also does dark beers too.
They do, but I would say
They're on the hoppy side.
It's kind of like Stone Brewing Company. Stone does IPAs very, very well.
Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah. And they tried to branch out and didn't work out, and they went back and they're good. But I would say Cross Train, they are. If you like hoppy beer, that's the brewery to go to.
Yeah. And what I love about Hop Streaker is it's like 4.5%.
Oh yeah, all day.
Flavor for being a lower ABV. It's a hazy pale ale, but it's so good.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
You guys are right. They've established themselves as the
they're the hop house.
Hop forward.
Hoppy beer place to go.
Absolutely.
They're killing it. But they do make some great light beers like the Hellas Lagers. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Their sours are excellent. The Moo Moo too. Their milk stout is great. I mean, they do have
The
a great.
Moo Moo, I haven't had that yet.
I haven't had that either.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Moo Moo's a
I
great
mean, my
one.
wife's wearing one right now, but
Are those still? Can you buy one of those still?
she's joking. She's not wearing one right now.
That Applewood sounded the best to me.
I
That
know.
you guys were trying.
Well,
I like
Brett loved it for sure. And I did too. I would say that's probably one of my favorite of the drinks. That was a really, really solid drink for sure.
No doubt.
So another solid, cool story. It's called Project Wingman. And this is with the airline companies trying to give back to the medical workers. They want to create a VIP lounge, which
At the airport or in the
hospital.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
In the hospitals.
Oh,
So,
okay.
like, there's a VIP lounge in the big airports that people go to. American Airlines have doing it.
Delta does it,
Delta
yeah.
does it. Yeah, they have specialty programs for specialty members. And they're passing that program on to the medical hospitals. And I don't know how many or where and what. Could be New York, could be California, could be all over the country. I don't know. But what they want to do is create a VIP lounge for the medical workers. So when they have time off, they can get a nap or they can get a cocktail. If they want to get some coffee. Just a nice little getaway on the top floor or in the basement, wherever it's going to be. It's a VIP lounge for the workers of the hospital.
Because right now, I don't work in the medical field, but I know that like some of those rooms that they do have rooms already for the staff and all that. But let's probably like a here's a room in the corner that we weren't using, and we put some racks in there to sleep during after your shift or whatever.
So Project Wingman.
That's really
Check
cool.
that out.
Very cool. I don't. So the only thing that I would see a problem with is how are they going to find the room in the hospital unless they create like a separate wing. Which then they'd have to leave their floor.
In the hospital. Take 2 rooms that they normally aren't using and just convert that to the thing.
Could be.
Yeah. I mean, hospitals are big. They'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Or they'll just build a new Project Wingman.
Yeah. So heading over to the Pacific Ocean, Australia, and we talked about this before the podcast a little bit. Australia is actually on track to eliminate COVID-19 from the country. Not completely yet. They are at 6,566 cases as of yesterday. But of those, 3,819 have actually recovered from COVID-19.
So it was a big number, but they have a lot of recoveries.
Yeah, a little over half of the people that got it recovered from it. They've only had 68 deaths, which is a really good, percentage-wise. But when this COVID thing started out, the figure was one person could give it to 2.5 people. In Australia, they're saying that for every 10 people that have it in Australia, only 5 people get it. So if that continues on,
that's actually way less.
It's half. You one person could infect half a person, which very quickly, that eliminates the case.
And now that opens up my mind to a question for Dave and Becca over here. What country have you guys been to? What is the furthest away from the United States you guys have been to?
So we've been to England. My sister and her husband live there, so we've been to London.
You've had a spot of tea then.
Yes.
And some good beers at the pubs there.
Did you play some good golf over there? Please tell me you did.
I don't know about that, but yeah.
Yeah, and I've done some golfing in Ireland and Scotland.
Yeah.
That's on my bucket list. to go to Ireland and Scotland, just see the country, drink some good whiskey, play some golf.
What's your favorite course then?
Oh, that's everything in Ireland and Scotland's incredible. I'm not lying.
Yeah.
That's the home of golf. It's very different than what we're used to playing over here.
Well, yeah, they don't have the beer cart lady. They have the Scotch and whiskey cart lady, right?
But you played at St. Andrews, right?
Yeah, I played St. Andrews. Number one course in the world is in Northern Ireland. It's called Royal County Down.
Oh, yeah. I've even heard of that.
More highly rated than Augusta National, which is hard to believe. But yeah, that's probably my favorite. I mean, just from the sheer getting to say I played it and I've walked on that property, it's pretty cool.
Yeah. The mystique of being over there, for sure.
Yeah, and they're very open over there, which is a beautiful part of golf. Over here in the States, there's courses in Omaha that you can't even go play because it's a private club.
Oh, yeah. You got to know somebody that knows some.
Yeah. Players Club and
somebody that knows somebody.
Like I said, if you want to get on there, I can get you there, Dave.
Over there, number one course in the entire world. You just go on the website and book a tee time. I mean,
that's pretty cool. Yeah, it's not a elitist kind of atmosphere over there.
No,
that's the way they do it. It is private. I mean, you're supposed to be a member. You're a member of the club that you live by, and you take great pride in that. But they're very open to letting people play their courses. Enjoy it. That's kind of the point, right?
Even crazy Americans can get on that.
Yeah, we'll let us crazy Americans on. They charge us a lot of dough, though.
Yeah. Is the money's still green over there?
Hang on a second. Last time Dave was here, he threw a golf club up in the tree.
Yeah.
I think it was the club's fault, not Dave's fault.
It was the club's fault.
Yeah. Always the club's fault.
I do have another good news story. Maybe
love it.
Was gone. But all the or not all of them, but a lot of animal shelters are getting cleared.
Mm-hmm.
I did see that.
I heard about that.
Yeah, they ran out of animals to give out.
So that is very good news. But I also worry, like when people start going back to work, what that looks like. So that's a kind of a cautionary good news for now. But when people start getting back to work, how's that going to look?
Our sister just bought a dog.
A second dog.
A second dog.
Yeah.
Good for her, good for her. And they called it Gunner, I believe.
Yeah. Vera and Gunner.
2 dogs. But hopefully those were on the fence that were going to buy animals and got the stimulus check don't go out and spend it that way.
Unless it's a tiger. Unless it's a tiger. I fully support that.
Okay, but we're one of those people too. We have a dog now. We had a cat forever. We've had cats, and the kids have been begging Dave for a dog forever. And I was.
When did you guys buy a dog?
What's that?
When did you guys buy a dog?
When did we get? 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks today.
Puppy adoption breeder.
Yeah, what kind of dog? What's the name?
Midwest Dog Rescues, where we got him from. He's half German Shepherd, 25% Rottweiler.
That's a good dog.
Rottweilers are very loyal.
He is 70 pounds and 8 months old.
His name's Cody.
So right in the middle of the puppy phase, really.
Yeah, but he's so good. I mean, he doesn't wake us up at night. He's housebroken.
That's great to hear.
He's so good.
What convinced me was, I didn't think we'd be dog people. We've had dogs when I was growing up, but
sure.
We know that, since we're going to be at home, it's a great chance to bond with him. It's a great chance to get to know him, him get introduced to us. And then, when we go back to normal, I mean, hopefully we'll have that relationship.
He's going to be sitting right there at the door like, where are you at?
You were gone for 5 minutes. I didn't think you were ever coming back. I opened up 12 cans of tuna. I didn't know what to do.
Yeah, we're giving it a shot, and so far it's been fantastic. The kids love him. We all love him. He's great.
He is. He's more like a cat than a dog. I mean, he sleeps all the time. He's
a good boy.
Yeah,
probably still growing at 8 months, so that's probably why he's sleeping.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm a fan of So you got German Shepherds, which are known to be a very, very intelligent dog breed, and Rottweilers, which are very, very loyal breeds to families, not just to one person, but to families in general.
Yeah.
So you bred the 2 of those, and I've actually not heard of that particular mix. So Rottweilers are typically short hair, and German Shepherds are typically long hair. So is this medium hair? Is that?
Yeah.
He looks mostly German Shepherd.
He looks more German Shepherd. He's also like 12% Great Pyrenees and 12% Old English Sheepdog.
Okay, yeah, we're all mutts, even dogs.
Exactly. Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, as 23andMe has said, we're all mutts now.
Right. But yeah, he looks like a German Shepherd. I mean, I think, but he's got some ruddy coloring. Like he's mostly black, but with a little bit of brown. And
Nice, very very cool. Well, good luck
He's a
with all
good
that.
book.
I hope that takes to the kids. It's been 2 weeks, so it's probably at this point you'd probably see if it was a good fit or not. By now.
oh yeah, he loves the kids.
3 days. It was a no-brainer. He
Good.
yeah, totally used to the kids.
Mhm.
We've introduced him to some other dogs in the neighborhood and other kids in the neighborhood, and he's just a big friendly old goofball.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Oh,
to know
you
it.
let him sniff some. No, just kidding. I'm not gonna go there.
Yeah.
6 feet. Sniff from
6 feet. Yeah, it's within 6 feet.
Well, dogs can smell from how far away, and so
Right.
yeah, that's nothing to them.
Buried treasure.
So I have some other news from Australia that is actually good, and we talked about it before the program a little bit. They are actually there's a company out of Australia that is going to be the first to do human trials for a COVID-19 vaccine, which is pretty cool. Now, I'm not saying this is going to be available tomorrow, because we all know that human trials are going to take a while to
Because
find out.
everyone gets their news from you, Brian.
Yeah. They, fans of the program for sure. They do. I mean, come on. We try and do our research and disseminate it and put out as much truth as we possibly can.
Yeah, we do.
But we're still human when we make mistakes. But
We do have like 1,000 viewers, but you do what you do.
human trials still take time, like 12 to 18 months. So, I mean, while it's good news, it's still going to take a little bit of time. But there are also 20 other vaccines that are being.
There are some good vaccines out there that.
So you're talking drugs. There are drugs out there that help with COVID-19. These are actual vaccines, and there's 20 other vaccines that are being.
Oh wow.
Yeah, not human trials yet. This Australian company, Canberra is the name of it. They're the first to
I'd
do
rather
human
take
trials.
something from them than something from China.
For sure.
For sure. Please give me that vaccine from Australia.
We've all ordered off of Amazon and Wish.com.
Exactly.
Anyway,
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Yeah. There are 20 other.
Love you, Amazon. By the way, sorry.
For sure, yeah. There are 20 other vaccines in production right now. Not human trials yet, but definitely there's a huge need right now. So there's also a corresponding huge outpush of trying to get this vaccine out there.
Well, and I've also seen the people that have survived from COVID-19.
Yeah.
They are donating plasma
Yeah.
because that could be used for a good source as well.
We're in a huge gray area where we know stuff, but we don't know everything about this. And we're just trying what works and what doesn't work, but we also want to be cautionary of, well, okay, don't gargle bleach because that's dumb. That's not going to work.
Yeah, right. Did you see that? Did you see that guy? Like first, when this whole thing came out, his son came out of school and he hit him with bleach. He just sprayed him with bleach. I'm like, that's not good for a kid to inhale that.
Well, and so
it's horrible.
Our cousin who lives in New York, Matthew, who is adopted and from South Korea, but raised here in America.
Yeah,
like
100% since day. What is he? 2 months old. Let's just say that.
Yeah, I'm not sure on the exact day, but yeah, he's been here his entire life. But because people heard it was from China, and they were spraying him with Lysol on the subway. Crazy. When it's like he's not even Chinese. Like he's South Korean. So
I'll have to link. Dave, I'll have to send you a link to one of his music videos. He's a great artist.
Hilarious,
awesome artist.
And he's also a chef out there in New York, which is not good right now. But it's awesome for him. But he is actually a very well accomplished.
That's another positive, awesome thing to talk about is artists and their music. I have seen so many. I'm a big local fan. I'm a big. I want to go out and see local music and do all the local things that local things that I can do. It's awesome to see all these artists get together and do these online presence things. to where, I mean, I can't be downtown every day. I can't be down at this place and that place, and I can't support my local band members as much as I can. But I want to, but I can't. And now I'm seeing an insurgence of online presence from these people, which is amazing. Now I get to listen to them. I can donate to them. They have Vimeo accounts, and so like I can give them some money, and that is such a positive in my life. Like Andrew Bailey, I'm gonna huge shout out to Andrew Bailey right now. He sang at our wedding. And at our wedding, there wasn't that many people. It was my wife and I, our minister, Mojo Poe, who has since passed away. Shout out to Mojo Poe. It was my brother, or my sister's sister, who took care of Carly, and then James, who was our photography, and then Erica, who was our photography as well. So, and then our limo driver. I mean, there wasn't that. That was the list of people at our wedding. And so Andrew Bailey has been going out and doing these daily broadcasts. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is so good to see Andrew, who was at my wedding. Brian, you weren't even at my wedding. Sorry.
Not the actual wedding.
Not the actual wedding. You were at the reception, which is fun,
for sure.
which we had in April.
There for the party.
And you were there for the party, which is good. But it's just so good to see him doing his thing remotely and for everyone to see freely.
For sure. So to add to that, I have there was an instructor when I went through school. He he had lost a child, a young child, and to cope with that, he had picked up guitar. And from that, he has actually become this local musician in Des Moines, Iowa. Des Moines is doing a little worse than we are here.
Des Moines?
Yeah, they're doing a little
That's
worse
what I like to call it as.
in Iowa than they are in Nebraska. So they've kind of shut things down. So he played a lot of bars and restaurants and all that stuff. But because that's all been shut down, he does live from his living room, which is really cool.
Live from Daryl Hall's house?
Yeah. It's actually
I mean, that was a great thing.
Yeah, it's actually called Live from his living room.
Live from Daryl Hall's house.
So what he does is he'll put out, hey, I'm playing, like this last Friday, a week ago Friday, he did Pink Floyd. And so he's like, hey, I'm going to be doing Pink Floyd on Friday. If you have any requests, send them in now. I'll see if I can do them and all that. And because he's, all about like social distancing and all that, like he has a foot pedal that does like the beat, and he plays guitar and has a loop station and sings to it all together. I'm like, this go from
I'm looking at you guys over here on the monitor. I know you can't see me looking at you at the monitor, but hey, when things get back to normal,
yeah,
I would love to see some local band stuff going on at your guys' place. Not that you guys have the room for it, but a single person up on a chair would be way cool.
Yeah. I've got another friend of mine here locally that plays a lot of bars and restaurants, and he has his own setup. So if you need somebody,
we got some people. We got some people that come to you and
wish you were here. That's what I would request.
Yeah. So mine was when I
would request Back to the Future.
when I turned 16, I bought the Division Bell, which came out in 1994 from them. This is like their later years, post some of the members.
Maybe not through Pink Floyd.
Well, so for me though, that was the nostalgic Pink Floyd. It wasn't The Wall, but I mean, come on, it's still like tracks 7 and 8. Take It Back and Coming Back to Life. For me, those very nostalgic. Also, it's track 12 on there. I can't think of the name. It's the very final track, and it's the ringing of the division bell is what they do on the last track.
I do have Pink Floyd over here in the record.
An album.
Could be copyright infringements if I play it though.
I think that isn't that the album that you can play to.
No.
Wizard of Oz. What is the Wizard of Oz album?
That's Dark Side of the Moon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Dark Side of the Moon.
Because there's a lot of similarities as far as the background noises on the division bell. You hear like the bell from the bike and all that, and so that's why I thought that. But you're right, it is the dark side of the moon.
Dark Side of the Moon, yeah.
Yep.
David Gilmour sang on that division bell when I think no Roger Waters though.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good. I wouldn't say like it's the best Pink Floyd album, but for me, because it was the very first album I bought for my very first vehicle, and it just rock out in my very first. So for me, it's the most nostalgic for me.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yep, I get that.
Yep. What else do I have here? Oh, I just we kind of talked about it. Like, just people reaching out and helping those in need. That was another good news.
Small acts of kindness.
Yeah, small acts of kindness. You already kind of touched on that a little bit. Families, FaceTiming.
Well,
the birthday parade. So my daughter just had a birthday on the 2nd of April.
I was part of that parade.
Yes, and so like what we did, we put a sign out in the yard, and she's like, "What is out in the yard?" And so we had her read it. And as she's reading it, we had a line of cars.
A caravan.
Oh, it was awesome. And so everybody was decorated their cars.
Now,
and they're doing
hold
a
on,
parade.
Ryan. You don't know this story like I know the story.
Yeah, you were on the other side of it.
I pulled up to the caravan, and Mom and Dad were right up front. They got there before I had, and that's fine. So I came in and parked right behind them, and we're getting ready, and we're social distancing and all that sort of jazz. Anyway, Dad puts this sign on the side of the car for to pass by your house, and he's pinning it up on the side of the car, and I'm just making sure that it was all right and all that stuff. And he pins it up on the side of the car, and then he looks over at me with like this frustration look, and then I immediately think to myself, he has locked himself out of the car. He put the sign over his door, and he couldn't get back into the car. And so it was hilarious to see Mom get out of the driver's seat and him to try to climb over to the passenger seat in a Lexus car. Yeah. But he did it. He made it happen. But then I was like, how did he get back? Did they drive home with the sign on the side of their car the entire time?
So what they ended up doing, they went around the block, they came and they parked in our driveway, and Mom had to get out, and she had to take off
the sign. All right.
So
Fair enough. But it was hilarious, just the reaction from Dad, and he's like, I can't get back in the car now.
Exactly.
I put this over my door.
But one of the things that stuck out for me, I mean, that was super cool, but
I had nothing on my car.
So
I just waved. I was like, hey.
The reaction from my oldest, so she turned 11, and after all was said and done that night, we're getting ready for bed, and she's like, we're saying our prayers, and we said, hey, how was your birthday? I'm sorry that we couldn't have like the party and all that.
All the people over.
Yeah. And what she said to us, she said, you guys.
And this is coming from your 11-year-old.
This is coming from my 11-year-old. And she said, you guys turned my birthday into something that quite possibly could have been one of the worst ones because of, we can't have parties and all that, to one of the best birthday parties I've ever had. I was like, that's awesome. Thank you, 11-year-old.
Yeah.
I'm not crying. You're crying.
Way to for her to recognize that.
Yeah, it was super cool. She was totally blown aback. Totally came out of nowhere. She had no idea that it was all set up, and it was awesome. It was really, really cool. So that's really one of the cool things. I've seen a lot of like food and essential item delivery between families, which is really cool.
I brought over some cheese for you on Easter. So Easter is like the bunny, and it's the chicken because the chicken lays the egg. I brought over cheese because I'm like the cow.
I didn't say it was.
That makes no sense.
Yeah, I didn't say it was that big.
Hang on. What did they say?
That makes no sense. But
I'm the cow. I bring the cheese.
Mm-hmm.
We had that because Dave's brother just lives a house away from us, and we borrowed. What have we got? Toilet paper from them, bread, other stuff. Yeah, I mean,
beyond a cup of sugar. Like if you ask for toilet paper, holy cow, that's it's like
see, I'm the holy cow.
Oh boy.
Yeah, he does not have a garage full, but we Yeah, we got that. We
Yeah.
got a few other things.
No, it's
yeah.
nice having people around.
You know, if you can trust in your neighbors. My neighbor actually brought over these ribs. Brian hasn't touched very much over here, but
Well, we were dealing with some stuff beforehand.
we're
So.
dealing stuff.
My
I'm
neighbor.
glad we got locked on finally.
My neighbor actually just came over today. They're expecting. He didn't.
Congratulations.
He didn't know who to turn to though, because he's like, I can't give this envelope to my family because then they'd know. And they were trying to do a gender reveal party, so he came over and he asked. He's like, would you call the bakery and like let them know? And here's the envelope. And I'm like, absolutely. So that was pretty cool.
Coronavirus baby boom coming up.
Yeah.
9 months from now.
Yeah. Well, in
Gender reveal parties going crazy.
in 13 years, we're gonna have the rise of the quarantines.
Yeah. I'm Vicky the virus. What? You're Vicky the virus? What?
That's a terrible
terrible
middle name. Who named you that?
Oh boy.
K Rona. I'm
Yeah.
K Rona.
COVID? Really?
You went there? You went there.
Okay. So we talked about neighbors, like mowing lawns, helping out, and getting a cup of sugar or toilet paper, or whatever from.
Love it.
Friends.
Glad you're relying on
Yeah.
neighbors.
Virtual happy hours.
Yes.
Staying connected. I've even, outside of business-related stuff, I've actually done some virtual happy hours with friends, just like on FaceTime and all that. Just like, hey, we can't get together at the bar, so let's just get together and hang out digitally.
I just came up with something right quick.
Light has struck my brain.
Like that struck my brain.
I've had an apostrophe.
Dave,
That must have
this might happen at your place sometime soon and other places that we like to go to. I'm going to buy a beer or a 6-pack for somebody, and then they just walk in and they just get it. May they buy more? That's great. But they can just walk in and get a virtual 6-pack.
Paying it forward kind of
paying
thing?
it forward kind of thing.
Dave's like, wait, hold on. How do we do that? How do we...
Well, you just Dave, you got a big fridge in the back, you know? Put their name on a little thumbtack on the side of the thing and say, apparently Britt bought me something, and you just go back into the back and get it for him.
You don't even need to keep it on the fridge. Like, you could just keep it on the shelf, and just like when they come in, you just,
hey, that's the one.
grab that other one too, because that's for you too.
Yeah, beer forward stuff, man. I think
Forward, I like it.
Nice.
seriously, Pint 9 does it. I think Infusion does it. Where if you go into the tap rooms, they'll have a little chalkboard that says, anybody who's a first responder, and then it'll say Brit, and you know what I mean. Like you can buy certain people beers, which is kind of what.
I want to buy my friends some beers.
Yeah, I saw that at Pint 9. They had that chalkboard there where they people paid it forward kind of thing. I like the beer it forward. That's nice.
Beer it forward. Cheers it forward.
Yeah, very, very cool. Community at large, people making sure they have essential items, and then just.
Well, here's what I'm thinking. Here's what I'm seeing, is finally the toilet paper's returning, which is a solid thing that.
Well, so.
I mean, that's good. Like, people were frantic. Here's what it was. The news came out and said toilet paper was being, and then they were like, we got to get the toilet paper. We got to get it out, you know. But now toilet paper has returned to the aisles, and you can buy now the toilet paper.
We weren't running low.
We were never running low.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a cheap and easy product to create.
Right.
We were not running low.
The worst case scenario, you're running low in toilet paper. Cut
Paper towels.
paper towels in half, and just
Follow
take-
me for other
Exactly.
recipes.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, I actually watched something on that where they were talking about how like that whole toilet paper hoarding thing. It was it's like
It was weird.
well,
That was so weird.
it's
All right. So Walmart, Costco, they all loaded up grocery carts. That's a whole nother
Freudian slip there.
grocery carts full of toilet paper, water, ready to go. They were like, "Oh, we already know you're coming in for this. Take that," which was kind of weird in my mind frame to go, "What? What is that like?"
Well, it's what they found is it's like it's something that people could control. Like when people started buying everything out, like they could grab that and they could have it and they could control. I have the need here. And so I think
Here's your need.
yeah, and it's a basic. It's one of our
One less step for you.
Yeah.
Water and toilet paper in the cart.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I've pretty much run out of. I mean, there's a ton of other good news, but I didn't want to get too long, and we've already been going for 2 hours
Yeah.
now. So
And now it's just you and me and Dave. Hey, buddy.
I think Becca's attending to the kiddos.
You know, it's getting late. You know, you gotta.
Yeah.
Becca's got to put stuff to kids to sleep and all that stuff. I get it.
well, and we've had a good time. So we appreciate you guys for coming on.
So much was that. This was so fun. I'm glad to see that the technology works. I'm glad to see that you can hear us and we can hear you, and it's very responsive. So now
we can drink together while remaining safe.
Exactly. We're at our homes. No one has to drive home.
Yep.
Except for Brian.
Yeah.
I agree.
So and I know Becca's kind of gone, but we do want to say thank you.
Let me. You were going to say something here.
No, I just wanted to say thank you guys. Like I said earlier, I wish that I was able to sit in the studio and be right.
Oh,
next to
our studio's awesome.
cheers in person. But hey, this is what we're dealing with right now, and I really love the episode. I'm glad we got to talk about the positive stuff that's going on because
so much negative news out now. So much negative.
That's the thing that's going to get everybody through it, right? We got to work together. We got to be friendly. We got to be helpful. We got to find ways to, make it. And
not only businesses have to think outside the box, but like just people in general have to think outside the box. And how can you help? Not just like you want to help yourself and make sure that your family's safe and all that, but how do you help your community, help your neighbors, help your family think outside the box on how to do that?
Yep. So we're doing it, man, and we're getting there. It's tough for businesses. I mean, for the Casual Pint, we've had to pivot. We've had to do a lot of things that we normally don't do. We've had to, lay some people off that are. Luckily, most of our staff has a real 9-to-5 job. They're getting paid. They're fine. But
I'm glad to see the people that are there.
Yeah. I mean, the guys that rely for putting some food on the table and paying bills, we got them working, and we're very blessed. We've got the means right now to keep trudging along what we're doing, and we're going to get through it. So I'm glad you guys did this. Thanks for having us on.
Well, thank you. I appreciate you being available tonight, and blessings to you and your family, and thank you for joining us. We have been joined by Becca and Dave from Casual Pints. We've been drinking, so they were drinking on beer.
Yeah,
we were doing
I'm a beer drinker. I am solid beer drinker, but I do like my liquor from time to time.
Yeah. I kind of like the menagerie.
Menagerie.
Yes, I like.
There's lots to choose from still right
exactly.
now. And we have a lit candle here in the middle.
We had Vucare from Inkwell and the Boulevardier, which is this one, Boulevardier from Inkwell. We had the Sazerac and Applewood. Apparently, the Applewood is the favorite of all.
Oh my gosh, that Applewood was solid.
I don't know what all
Dynamite,
is in it, but it was amazing. It was super amazing. So go to Proof and get yourself some Applewood, or go to Inkwell and get yourself a Vucare.
Hold on, these shirts.
Eat, drink, buy local. Yeah, this is one of the Proof shirts.
Exactly.
Also, Voodoo, Two Fine Irishmen, Union. But
all of them.
All the local guys.
All the people.
Or go to Casual Pint and get all your
beer needs.
Beer needs for sure. Both packaged liquor and growlers, and you're still doing growler service also?
Growlers, and of course mixed sixes and package to go.
Dave, you are way better than a Hy-Vee.
We got a little too, by the way, guys. So we're doing our famous Southwest rolls. Pretzels and beer cheese and some wings.
I guess we should talk about that.
Food.
You
guys got some food to go?
Nice. I
love the Southwest rolls.
Simple stuff that's easy to cook at home. That it's kind of our signature things. So those are the things people have been excited about taking home.
Nice. Well, thank you all for joining us. We've been talking on Uplifting News. We try and do that at least once a season. No. And
this was the time to do it.
Yeah, this is our 4th season trying to get things going. Uplifting news in a crazy times right now. So my name's Brian.
I'm Britt.
And I'm Dave.
There you go, Dave. And Becca was here too, but she's off tending.
We'll give her a shout out.
Yeah, thank you.
Hey, Becca.
Yeah, thank you. Tell her thank you from us for joining us and giving us a part of your time tonight. So thank you for joining. Have a good night. Enjoy all.
Cheers.
Oh yeah, cheers.